We're here at the One-to-One Oil and Gas Investment Conference in London. Can you give us a brief overview of the company?
Sure, I'm here on behalf of AJ Lucas. AJ Lucas is an Australian listed company. AJ Lucas is one of the largest investors in shale gas in the UK for the development through its investment both of Quadrilla and also as a direct license holder in a number of licenses in the north of England. Quadrilla, as probably a lot of people know, is at the forefront of shale gas development here in the UK, and we're at a very exciting time at the moment that we've been drilling during the course of this year, and we're now fracking and will soon be testing for the flow of gas. The first time that's actually happened in the UK, so a very exciting time.
Yeah, so talk further about this and the development of the project and what it means for the company.
Over the last couple of years, we've been going through a series of applications, both with respect to the company for the pads that we're drilling up in Lancashire. At the moment, we have a very large pad that we're testing at the moment. We've been going through the development of that, the drilling earlier in this year, and as I say, we're now actually at the sort of the business end as we're fracking at the moment, and we will then be flow testing for gas probably from the early part of next year. Potentially, this is a resource for the UK that potentially is absolutely game-changing, and potentially there is enough gas there to fuel the UK economy for many years moving forward. We see gas as obviously being very strong for a transition gas as we actually move away from perhaps some of the dirtier fossil fuels to a wider environment, and very important at the time in the UK where we're looking at Brexit, a number of things. We're looking at energy security, looking at the amount of gas that is actually can be stored in the UK. All of these things we hope that the Quadrilla and AJ Lucas investments can actually help with.
And how is it operating in the UK for shale gas?
It's been a difficult process as we've gone forward. Obviously, over time, there's opposition to its development at one level. So there's been a lot of opposition that has been in the public domain. But the government has actually been supportive. There is a very strong environment in the UK with respect to the rules and regulations. That's actually sort of panned out in a sort of a disciplined way. It's taken time, so perhaps that's been the most frustrating thing from an investor's perspective as to how long it's taken. But as I say, I think we're getting towards the end of that initial testing phase. Early next year, we'll actually start to get some initial results of just how big this potentially can be. And as we move forward, we think that that system will end up being streamlined as both as in terms of the government, but also as local people involved in the area actually see the benefits that this will actually bring as a new industry for an area where the north of England has been famous in the past for bringing in new developments with respect to industry. We see that it's going to be very interesting times ahead.
So what's the key messages you're trying to get across to people at One-to-One?
The One-to-One conference at the moment is really explaining both at one level, Quadrilla is a private company. AJ Lucas is a listed company and is actually a large shareholder in Quadrilla. For people who are looking to invest, there is potentially maybe a play down the road with respect to Quadrilla, but at the meantime there are investment opportunities within AJ Lucas. So really it's a matter of trying to get ourselves known better over here, that we are actually a very large player in this space, along with some other players such as INEOS and iGas.
Well, how have you found the One-to-One conference so far?
So far it's been very good. I mean, we've been to a number of these previously, although this is the first time Lucas has actually been a sponsor here. So I think it's a great setup for a couple of days of actually being able to meet lots of investors and actually get the name across. So it's a very good environment.